Welcome to the Daily Current Affairs by CivicCentre IAS, where we try to discuss the important articles from the Hindu, the Indian Express, and the PIB from the UPSC CSC Prelims perspective. Displayed are the list of articles which we are going to discuss in today's video. The first article of the day says that India-Russia Working Group on Cooperation in the Northern Sea Route held the first meeting last week and discussed the targets for Indian-Russian cargo transit, possible training of Indian sailors for polar navigation and development of joint projects in Arctic shipbuilding, Rosatom, the State Corporation of Russia, said on Monday. In this context, let us talk about the Northern Sea Route and then about INSTC. Firstly, talking about the Northern Sea Route. See, it is a maritime route in the Arctic Ocean that connects the Pacific and the Atlantic Oceans through the Arctic. It is piquing the interest of numerous nations like India, Russia, and China in particular. Furthermore, it promises to reduce the distance between the Asia and Europe by 10 to 14 days compared to the Suez Canal route. Know that the Arctic ice thawing makes the passage increasingly viable. Then, moving on to talk about the International North-South Transport Corridor, in short called the INSTC. See, it was established on 12th September of 2000 in St. Petersburg of Russia. Know that the founding members are Iran, Russia, and India. Significantly, the purpose of its establishment is to promote transportation cooperation among the member states and provide a faster, more efficient route for trade between Indian Ocean, Persian Gulf, Caspian Sea, and Northern Europe. Talking about the route, see, the starting point is at the Indian Ocean and Persian Gulf, with a middle link through Iran connecting to the Caspian Sea, and then with the end point at Northern Europe via Russia. Then, 11 additional members joined the INSTC to enhance the regional cooperation and connectivity, which are Azerbaijan, Armenia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkey, Ukraine, Belarus, Oman, Syria, and Bulgaria. Now, what is the significance of it? See, the INSTC provides a shorter and more cost-effective trade route between South Asia, the Middle East, and the Europe. Furthermore, it aims to reduce the transit times and enhance the economic ties between the member nations. Significantly, the corridor is a key strategic initiative to diversify trade routes, improve logistics, and increase regional cooperation. The second article of the day says that External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar is set to land in Pakistan on Tuesday to attend a conclave of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization in the first high-level visit from India in years amid continuing strain in ties between the two neighbors. In this context, let us talk about the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, in short called the SCO. See, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization is a permanent intergovernmental international organization established on June 15th of 2001 in Shanghai, but it entered into force on September 19 of 2003. Know that it's a Eurasian political, economic, and military organization aiming to maintain peace, security, and stability in the region. So, its predecessor was the mechanism of the Shanghai Five, formed in the year 1996, consisting of China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. Furthermore, before the inclusion of Belarus, it had 9 members, which are India, Iran, Kazakhstan, China, Kyrgyzstan, Pakistan, Russia, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. Then, what are the objectives of it? Firstly, to strengthen the relations among the member states. Secondly, to promote a cooperation in political affairs, economics and trade, scientific, technical, cultural, and educational spheres, as well as in energy, transportation, tourism, and environmental protection. Thirdly, to safeguard regional peace, security, and stability. And lastly, to create a democratic, equitable international political and economic order. Furthermore, the SCO aims to promote cooperation and mutual support in areas such as the trade, investment, energy, transportation, and security. Know that the official working language of the SCO Secretariat is Russia and Chinese. Moving on to talk about its structure. First one is the heads of the State Council, which is the supreme SCO body which decides its internal functioning and its interaction with other states and international organizations and considers international issues. Then the heads of the Government Council, which approves the budget, considers and decides upon the issues related to economic spheres of interaction within the SCO. Thirdly, the Council of Ministers of Foreign Affairs, which considers issues related to day-to-day activities. Know that the organization has two permanent bodies, which are the Secretariat in Beijing of China and the Regional Anti-Terrorist Structure, in short called the RATS in Tashkent. Notably, the SEO Secretary General and the RATS Executive Committee Director are appointed by the HSC for a period of 3 years. Remember that Kazakhstan was the SEO chairman in 2023-24 and the next SEO summit will be held in China in 2025. The third article of the day says that the Nobel Prize in Economics was awarded on Monday to Turkish-American Darren Acemoglu and the British-American Simon Johnson and James Robinson for research into wealth inequality between nations. In this context, let us talk about the relevant aspects. See 2024 Nobel Prize in Economics for research topic, which is the wealth inequality between the nations. So their key contribution is demonstrating the relationship between the societal institutions and the national prosperity, particularly how the political and the economic systems influence the economic outcomes. Now, if we look at the key findings, firstly, with respect to the impact of the institutions, the laureates' work showed that societal institutions, not geography or culture, are the key determinants of prosperity. For instance, the divided city of Nagolis illustrates how differences in political and economic institutions affect the welfare of populations on either side. From the US side, greater economic opportunities and political rights, whereas from the Mexican side, limited economic conditions and restricted political influence. Secondly, with respect to the inclusive institutions, see the institutions that grant broad political and economic rights are essential for national prosperity. So they allow people greater freedom in choosing their education and profession, including to contribute to economic growth. Thirdly, with respect to the democratization and growth, the countries that transition to democracy tend to experience faster economic growth compared to non-democratic regimes. Further, the laureates' research emphasizes that democracy supports sustained economic development. So, what is the significance of it? See, the research helps to explain why some countries are trapped in low economic growth, highlighting the importance of the institutional reforms. The next article says that with over 100 cases so far this month, Delhi has reported the highest number of malaria incidents in the past 5 years. In this context, let us talk about malaria. See, malaria is a life-threatening disease caused by a parasite transmitted to humans through the bites of the infected female Anopheles mosquito. So, mostly found in the tropical countries, it does not spread person to person but can also be transmitted through blood transfusions or contaminated needles. Notably, malaria is preventable and curable. Moving on to talk about the symptoms. See, the mild symptoms include fever, chills, and headache. Furthermore, severe symptoms include fatigue, confusion, seizures, difficulty in breathing, dark or bloody urine, jaundice, and abnormal bleeding. Notably, the high-risk groups include infants, children under the age of 5, pregnant women, travelers, and people with HIV or AIDS are at greater risk for severe infections. So, symptoms typically appear 10 to 15 days after being bitten by an infected mosquito. Know that there are 5 species of Plasmodium parasites that cause malaria in humans. Firstly, P. falciparum, which is the deadliest parasite prevalent in Africa. Secondly, P. vivax, which is the dominant parasite outside sub-Saharan Africa. Then P. malariae, P. ovale, and P. knowlesi. Others are the other species causing human infections. If you have to read further about the malaria, like the preventive measures, treatment and vaccines, you can check out the notes on our Telegram channel. The next article of the day says that Delhi government on Monday notified a complete ban on the manufacturing, sale, storage and bursting all kinds of firecrackers in the national capital till January 1st of 2025. In this context, let us talk about the Air Quality Index. See, the Air Quality Index in India is a tool designed to provide the public with real-time information about the quality of air in their localities. Know that the Air Quality Index system categorizes air quality into 6 levels, ranging from good to severe, providing an easily understandable way to assess the impact of pollution on health. So the categories are good, which is 0 to 50, satisfactory 51 to 100, moderate 101 to 200, poor 201 to 300, very poor 301 to 400, and severe 401 to 500. Significantly, the air quality index is based on the concentration of 8 key pollutants, which are particulate matter 10, particulate matter 2.5, nitrogen dioxide, ozone, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, ammonia, and lead. Know that each pollutant's concentration is converted into a numerical scale that reflects its health impact, and the pollutant with the highest score determines the overall air quality index for that location. The next article says that African cheetahs who have been kept in enclosures at the Kuno National Park of Madhya Pradesh will be released soon to roam free in the wild. Know that these cheetahs will be released from their enclosures in a phased manner. Notably, at present, there are 24 cheetahs, including 12 cubs in this national park, and the government is also in conversation with different countries to bring more cheetahs to the country. In this context, let us talk about the relevant aspects. Firstly, talking about Project Cheetah. See, the Cheetah Reintroduction Project in India formally commenced on 17 September 2022 to restore the population of cheetahs which were declared extinct in the country in the year 1952. Significantly, Project Cheetah is the world's first intercontinental large wild carnivore translocation project. Furthermore, the project involves the translocation of cheetahs from South Africa and Namibia to Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh. Know that the project is implemented by the National Tiger Conservation Authority in collaboration with the Madhya Pradesh Forest Department, Wildlife Institute of India, and cheetah experts from Namibia and South Africa. Then, what are the objectives of Project Cheetah? Firstly, establishing a meta-population of wildcats is one of the long-term goals of Project Cheetah. Secondly, to restore the ecological role of cheetahs in Indian ecosystem. Thirdly, to promote the conservation efforts for cheetahs globally. And lastly, to contribute to national biodiversity and habitat conservation. Now, talking about the Kuno National Park, see, it is located in the Shivpur district in Madhya Pradesh. Know that it is nestled near the Vindhya Hills. The next article says that the Sri Lanka's newly appointed foreign minister on Monday said that the Colombo will apply for membership of the BRICS and the New Development Bank. In this context, let us talk about the BRICS. See, BRICS is an acronym for the grouping of the world's leading emerging economies, namely Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Now, if we have to talk about the formation of BRICS, see, the grouping was first informally formed during the meeting of the leaders of Brazil, Russia, India, and China on the sidelines of G8 Outreach Summit in St. Petersburg of Russia in 2006. Later, this was formalized during the first BRIC foreign ministers meeting in New York in 2006. Then in 2009, the inaugural BRIC summit took place in Yekaterinburg of Russia. Next, in the following year of 2010, South Africa joined to form the group known as BRICS. Notably, during the 6th BRICS summit in Fortaleza, the leaders signed the agreement establishing the New Development Bank. What about the funding structure? See, currently, two entities make up the financial architecture of BRICS, namely the New Development Bank and the Contingent Reserve Arrangement. Significantly, the group was designed to bring together the world's most important developing countries to challenge the economic and political power of the wealthier nations of North America and Western Europe. Know that Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates were invited to become members with effect from 1st January of 2024. The last article of the day says that the annual rate of inflation based on All India Wholesale Price Index number is 1.84%, which is provisional for the month of September 2024. Furthermore, positive rate of inflation in September 2024 is primarily due to the increase in the prices of food articles, food products, other manufacturing, manufacture of motor vehicles, trailers and semi-trailers, manufacture of machinery and equipment, etc. In this context, let us talk about the relevant aspects in the article. Firstly, talking about the wholesale price index. See, the WPI or the wholesale price index measures the changes in the prices of the goods sold and traded in bulk by the wholesale businesses to other businesses. Know that it is calculated and published by the Office of Economic Advisor of the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So the WPI data is published monthly with the index value representing an estimate of the price level for the month as a whole rather than a specific date. Know that an upward surge in the WPI indicates inflationary pressure in the country and vice versa. Furthermore, the quantum of rise in the WPI month after month is used to measure the level of wholesale inflation in the country. Then, how do you calculate WPI? See, it is calculated by taking a weighted average of the prices of a basket of goods, which each item's weight determined by its share of total wholesale items. Know that the basket of goods comprises of three major groups, which are primary articles, fuel and power, and lastly manufactured products. If we have to talk about the difference between the WPI and the CPI, which is nothing but the consumer price inflation, see, firstly, while the WPI keeps track of the wholesale price of goods, the CPI measures the average price that households pay for a basket of different goods and services. Secondly, the WPI is restricted to only goods, while the CPI is for both goods and services. Thirdly, CPI-based inflation data is compiled by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, and the WPI-based inflation data is put together by the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. Notably, even as the WPI is used as a key measure of inflation in some economies, the Reserve Bank of India is no longer uses it for policy purposes, including setting the repo rates. Further, the RBI currently uses CPI or the retail inflation as a key measure of inflation to set monetary and credit policy. Know that the base year for WPI was updated to 2011-12 from 2004 and 5, while the base year for CPI is 2012. So in this video, we have discussed 8 articles in total for today. We'll be back again with another video tomorrow. Thank you.